Hello my lovelies and welcome to another whiskey review with me, the Whiskey Novice. Thank you for joining me. We are on Islay with Isla's current newest distillery, and this one, that Ardnahoe of course, and this one, their first core range release. This is their first core release, the Infinite Loch. So the Infinite Loch, as I said, their first core release, only age stated because they're a young distillery. But, you know, and I'm sure it says it on here, that it is natural colour, non-chill filtered. Yep. No, you know, and at the end of the day, it's a nice colour. I think this is just ex-bourbon, I imagine. I didn't do that side of my homework. Naughty boy, I'll have to sort that one out. But this one, their first core release. So, bottle of 50%. Yes, natural colour, non-chill filtered. Let's go, shall we? It's a meaty, smoky nose, but not in the way that I've said in the past, where it's sort of, it's a little muted at first. Smoky, yes, and meaty, but not like barbecued, burnt ends, that sort of thing. It's a much more savoury thing than that. It is youthful, but hey, they've got to start somewhere. So you can even though it's a peated malt, you can smell that youth off it. What I mean by that, well, you can smell those fruity or estery notes coming through in the background, which is sort of, you know, it's the oak hasn't had enough time to take the shine off the new make spirit. I don't mind it at all. I actually quite like it in some cases, and it's still a good peated malt. So the peat then is driving it. The smoke is driving it in that. You can put out, I'm convinced you can put out younger whiskey, younger malt, peated malt, if the peat has taken, if the phenols have a good grip on your cereal, and then it'll hold on and not give the oak of the barrel a chance to take over yet. Really all that oak's doing is tempering it a little, and that's to me what's happened here. I was maybe away on a flight of fancy there. It's quite cool here. I'm just trying to keep my brain working. But it's nice, it's meaty, it is fruity. I'm convinced yet again those fruity notes, probably the estery notes coming through from the distillation. Yeah, it is meaty, but definitely not barbecue. More like, I would suggest, beef stock, that sort of thing. I like it, I do like it. And the fruit, a sort of mixture of dark and light fruit notes. And they've suggested that here and before, there's a good whack of salinity in there as well. The saltiness is there. Yeah. Meaty, yes. Oh yeah. This is umami. This is where umami comes into play here. I'm not getting any real sweetness off that. Not getting any real sour, bitter. Salt, yes. Umami, yes. All that savoury note right up the middle of the palate. Beautiful. Rich coffee. Oh yeah. Chocolate. This just gets better. The smokiness is there, but it is roast beef on a Sunday. Hints of clove in there. There are, I would suggest, even herbal notes, or certainly there's vegetative notes as well as those savoury, meaty or savoury notes. Everything's in the development, all playing up the middle of the tongue. Very little sweetness here. It's a long time since I've had a whiskey that hasn't fired off all those sweet senses. And it's nice. I like that. It's making it different. It's making it play entirely different. 50%. Yeah, well, I was going to say I wouldn't believe it, but yeah, I suppose you would know it's over 46%. You would know it's not ridiculously high, but it's certainly very palatable at that. Orange, that's what it is. Charred orange. I'm getting it's a fruity note. Yeah. Finish. Long. Yeah. Smoky. Yeah. Meaty. Yeah. It's all that stuff that was going on earlier. Still going on. But very palatable. A little dry. But it's still making you want to go back for more. Would I replace it? Yeah. I'll just continue. Because it's core range. This was around £50 a bottle, I think they charged for this. Somewhere around that. And I know it's non-age stated, and I know an awful lot of people sort of go, I don't care anymore. I'll pay that for a whiskey of this quality. Sometimes it's trial and error, but I had a funny feeling this was going to be good anyway. Hunter Laing know what they're doing. Add a drop of water to this, it does change. It changes quite dramatically, actually. I remember when I was doing my tasting notes that I found myself in the SMWS tasting rooms saying if this had a name, it would be called Farley's Rusk on a Farmyard. It becomes all a bit oat cake and cereal notes, but it becomes a bit farmyardy as well. Still very nice. The sweetness does tend to come out a little more with a drop of water in it, but it's still all about balance and quality. It's just about quality, and this is, as I said, this is Hunter Laing. This is already tried and tested. Guys who knew what they were doing. Starting a distillery and releasing quality single malt. There you go. What would I suggest as an alternative then? This was a bit difficult. I'm going to suggest one that I would imagine probably an awful lot will disagree with. And it's this, the wee beastie from Ardbeg. Why do I think you'll disagree? Well, they're different. That's why. They're quite a bit different. Both peanut malt, both young. The wee beastie being 5 years old. But I would suggest that the Ardbeg's wee beastie is a different kind of peated malt. It's a dirtier, creamier or something peated malt. This is cleaner and fruitier. And the more I work at this, and you can see I haven't worked at it an awful lot, but the more I work at it, the better it gets. The Ardnahoe, the Ardbeg, the wee beastie, I'm very fond of still. It's inexpensive, under £40 a bottle for the wee beastie. Well, that's hard to beat. Yes, it's a young malt once again, but it's still hard to beat. It's still quality. I would suggest that the Ardbeg wee beastie is still a quality malt. I would prefer the Ardnahoe, personally. However, there are sort of similarities. Coffee, I'm getting an awful shot of coffee off the Ardnahoe. I like it a lot. Anyway, that's just a suggestion, only a suggestion. Remember, all my reviews are only my suggestions, only my opinion. There. I'm going to leave it at that and say thank you very much for joining me. Thank you very much to my patrons. Should anybody wish to join that group, show some support for the channel, details are in the video description below. I'll be back next time to see you again. Till then, you look after yourselves. Here's your good health. Cheers. Hey, thanks for watching my video. Please click and subscribe to be notified of further content.